Ben, we're obviously up at Pontefract Park today. Just explain a little bit of what we're doing here and why we're doing it.
Yeah, so this morning we've got all the scholarship players and their coaching staff here. We've got all the academy players and we've got all the reserve players and all the staff from them groups. So it's a big mixed session. It's a really good opportunity for us to get the players to get reference points from each other and help each other out and work with each other, in an opportunity we don't always get to do for different reasons. So it's been really good. We've grouped all the players positionally today, so they've been working around different stations. We've had some skill work and some technical detail work, a little bit of aerobic training where they've been jogging around as a group with a real key to keeping them together and talking to each other. And then in the background you can see them, they've got a bit of a hill session which is building a bit of resilience within them. But again, it's how they all interact with each other, it's how that they encourage each other, it's how that they pull through some, a little bit of tough training and get to know each other as a group of players that don't always interact together, but with all of them age groups from 13-year-olds up to 23-year-olds together, it's a really good opportunity for us.
Yeah, you talk about that varying in age ranges, obviously from our younger end of our scholarship right up to our reserve players. How amazing is it to have the opportunity to get them in and around different people, showcasing kind of what the reserves and the academy guys are like, and for these scholarship guys to kind of see what the future could hold?
Yeah, I think it's really, really important. I think having a reference point of really good role models is really important, and we have got some really good young men in our reserve programme, in our academy programme, and they're taking some of these young lads under the wing, but they're going to push them like they were pushed at that age group as well. So it is really important that they learn different reference points from each other. The older lads, for them to actually be taking some responsibility is really important as well. So they're helping them out with some of the technical points when they're down on the field, and also that kind of the cultural aspect of keeping them together and the team mentality that we want here at Wakefield is really important for kind of how we get them all together.
I suppose the funny comparison this week is obviously we're here in his coats and his hats in a little bit of a cold Saturday morning, and our first team are off in Tenerife. It's a little bit of a different week for these boys compared to our first team, isn't it?
Absolutely, what a contrast. I mean, where would you rather be? Would you rather be out there on holiday like them lads sunning themselves on the beach, or would you rather be here grafting it in Pontefract with your hat on and multiple layers? I know where I'd rather be, and it'd be right here and working with these lads for sure. Nobody wants to take the easy option and go out there, do they? And it looks like they're having a whale of a time. I'm sure they're working hard, but yeah. Hopefully, if these lads continue to do the hard work and they keep doing what they are doing, they get the chance to get them rewards later on in the career. We see young Ellis has gone over there with them lads. He's doing really, really well, and he will have doing similar things to this. Only last season, so it's there for them to get the rewards. But yeah, I must have missed my invite to Tenerife this year.
You talk about Ellis. Obviously, he's over with the first team in Tenerife on that warm weather camp. We saw obviously Rowan Stevenson make his debut last year. Harvey Smith's been another success story. Oliver Pratt's come through the system here at Wakefield. It's quite an encouraging time for these boys to see lads that were in this system just a couple of years ago and still in this system getting those chances in the first team, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the proof is always in the pudding when you've got an academy system. For the young players to see their peers have some success through the way that they've done it. So all of the players that you just mentioned, they've got really strong performance behaviours. They work really hard. They don't just work hard when they're with us, they're always working hard away from the club as well. They're putting the hours in, they're putting the hard graft in, and they've got a really good work ethic around that. I think it is really encouraging when you see good role models like that progressing and doing really well. After the lads have worked really hard today, we're all going down to the stadium, we're having a big team breakfast all together, and I think at that point there, we spoke about them having reference points for the younger lads to these, but Matt Ellis is going to come down, he's going to be talking to the lads about how it's so important for the club for these players to have the potential to come through, and it's such a big part of the club's philosophy around having our homegrown players populate that field. and it will take time, but it's really good signs having the likes of the debutants last year, seeing the lads go out on Boxing Day and show what they're about and what they can do. It's really good. We've got some really good young men coming through, good people, and over the next few years we'll see a few more of them, hopefully taken to the field down at DIY Kitchen Stadium.
It's a long old pre-season. These guys have put in a ton of work over the winter. I'm sure these guys are excited about it, and I'm sure you're excited just to get back to regular games, and I bet you can't wait for the kick-off on that first game.
Yeah, the whole reason everybody works so hard is to play the games at the end of the day. It is the focus for the lads. It's slightly different from my side of things because development takes place over a much longer period of time, and the way that the season structure is we can get a little bit disjointed through there, but the games are going to be really important. The lads they're hungry to play the games already. Yeah, it is a long pre-season, but development looks like that. It's around a long-term kind of continuous and consistent improvement, rather than we are just preparing to play games in the season. We're preparing over a course of years for players to progress to first team. So yeah, can't wait for games, but it's not the be-all and end-all for us. It's about the individual's development to first team.
How amazing is it to be able to get all the scholarship, the academy and reserves all together and really kind of just run a group session, so you've got the younger end of the guys really mixing it with some of the older lads?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Obviously we've got some outstanding reserves and academy players, so for those scholars to have an early look at what they're capable of doing, it gives them a real sort of hard line of this is where I need to be. So they get an early look at that, so they've got 2 years now to make sure they're at that standard by the time they get to academy.
For yourself, obviously you've been running the hill session, a little bit of a sadistic mind and enjoyed kind of beasting the boys? Yeah,
I think a lot of this stuff is kind of set up to fail, really. So you're looking for, it's that hard. You're just looking for leaders. You're looking for leaders to step forward and say, yeah, I'm going to keep going here. And it's just about working. That's a mindset thing. Rugby league is a very, very tough sport. If you switch off, it's not you let down, it's the people around you. And we just can't have it. Can't have it anywhere through the grades. So if we want the first team to be up there competing with the best, then we need to produce the best.
For yourself, it's your first year here at Trinity, obviously working with the youth team. How impressed have you been with all of the age levels?
I think it was a bit of a shock for them when I first got hold of the group, but they're a good group. The guys we've got here are very, very good. I'm excited to see what they're capable of doing. The progress they've made so far just in pre-season is outstanding. It's good to get a pathway in place from scholarship to reserves, and days like this give them a really good look at that and how it's going to work.
You've worked in rugby league for a number of years now. How does working at Wakefield Trinity compare to the other clubs that you've worked at?
It's brilliant. I've really enjoyed it, actually. I really enjoyed it. It's refreshing to see a kind of an ownership and a backroom staff that are backing what's going on, and the support's just first class. It's a brilliant place to be, and these kids are lucky. They're not. I'm not sure some of them are aware of how good they've got it. So it's my job to make sure they don't fall in love with themselves a little bit, and we keep pushing.